Welcome back, everyone, to Thieves Incorporated. This is session 14 out of a number. Will be decided later.
It'll be over when we say
out
it's
of
over.
not a number. That's our current last session. It returns Nan because we don't have a last session.
It just returns a null.
Or null, or undefined, or...
It's over when the DM says it's over. God.
Sorry, programmer jokes.
Yeah.
When we last left our adventures, perhaps maybe we should go around the table first. Climb, what did you do?
Oh, fuck, man. That was so long. Okay.
I know one thing you did.
Well, I ate that guy's cheese.
Is it true?
Yeah. You also managed to save yourself from falling off a bridge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Lick moves, proud of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. Alright. What about you, Theron? What was Theron up to?
I almost died again. Big shocker there.
And you also failed. And you also failed to look at dragon bones. So you know.
Yeah, this is true. Almost fell off a bridge.
Yeah, but
and then I'm sitting there talking about the dragon bones, standing in the building. It's just a bunch of dead dragon bones. It'll be fine. As the skeleton is, standing up behind me.
The important thing is you didn't fall off the bridge.
No, but I almost did.
Yeah.
And somehow you fell off and ended up at our destination before we did. Which doesn't make any sense.
We'll get to Ticker.
Ticker, what did you end up doing?
Saved. Who did I save from falling off the bridge? It was Theron I saved from falling off the bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then I failed to save, and then I wasn't able to save Skirbo from falling off the bridge, and searched for him.
Yeah.
And then ended up finding out he was just at where we were going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You also did not fall off a bridge.
I did not fall off a bridge. No, I did not.
Yep.
Now, Skirbo.
Skirbo fell off a bridge. Skirbo fell off a bridge and nearly died.
Gosh dang it, why can't you be like the other people?
Like, that's what I was getting at with this whole thing. Like, the important thing is you didn't fall off the bridge. Ticker didn't fall off the bridge. Skirbo fell off the bridge.
Think of it this way.
I nearly took
You're sharing the almost dying with responsibilities with Theron, so it's no longer just me who has the responsibility to almost die every single week.
Yeah. Just...
Well, that was a one-time situation with Skirbo.
The pain.
I also identified that tangential from the fact that I nearly died. Skirbo also identified that we were looking at a set of possibly Dracolich bones.
Ah, yes.
And had one of the funniest moments in the whole session.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And a side note that I kind of want to say is that I kind of want to make sure is on record. I am like at least 80% certain that the only reason Skirbo didn't die when he fell off that bridge was because Spencer figured that our super special session probably wouldn't go so well if everyone's favorite player character died 30 minutes in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because
it could also
to
be that
fair,
you're made of metal and landing on sand is less dangerous for you than it is for the rest of us from that height.
Yeah, no, exactly. But it was just a thought I had because I was like, if that was what he was thinking, that's perfectly fair, because having a guy goes through all the trouble to actually fly out to Idaho, and the first thing his character does is fall off a freaking bridge. Like, what was he supposed to do the rest of the game? Roll a new character?
Okay, so
anyways,
to the session.
Yeah.
So, setting the scene. Recently, our intrepid adventurers had found themselves in a sandstorm that seemed to dissipate with the coming of the morning. I guess it was coming of the night. Ticker went on some adventures, found out that it's a village near the waterfall, which might be important later. No one really knows. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to go there. Um, Shoot, crap. Other than that, they met the funny little man who lives in the adobe house next to one of many cactus fields. Martin Robinson, I believe that's what his name is.
Oh yes.
And now it was the thing that it's just left off on was Theron was failed to identify Bones is like, come on, what's the worst that can happen? As a giant dragon skeleton comes back from the dead and flies off somewhere.
Behind me. You know, so I'm facing the party. It's like, yeah, what's the worst that can happen? It'll be fine. Wow,
Like-
behind me, you all are just looking through the window and seeing
Yeah.
the skeleton getting.
Yeah. I just imagine while he's like got this completely not a care in the world face, everyone looking out the window has this face that is just
Horrified.
increasing. Yeah, just from horror to increasing to pure terror. As this thing shadow looms over the shack.
But yes, it is around. We're going to say like 8 p.m. What do you guys do?
Well, I suppose. Would it be rude to be able to? Could we trouble you to sleep, to rest here for the evening, while we lick our wounds and plan our next course of action?
Well, I don't reckon that I believe that you can, my good sir. Tit tat
Thank
with
you.
extreme intensity.
Thank you very much, Mr. I have his name here somewhere.
Robinson.
Mr. Martin. There.
Oh. And I do believe that I have not gotten your name, stranger.
I am Captain Skirvo. I must once again thank you for the rescue. These here are me crewmates. These here are my crewmates. That's Mr. Ticker.
Shake my head.
That over there is Mr. Theron.
What did you say, Maddie?
Oh, I shake my head.
Oh, okay.
This little the little one disagreeing with my every decision is Miss Pyman. It's our newest recruit. Whether or not he decides to stay is up to him. Mr. Dig Dug.
He waves. Like,
Yeah.
what you guys?
Yeah. Why, hello there. And
Pearl
and-
and the.
Yep. And yes, the pale lass over there is Pearl, and this wee one is Clara. He can't be too bad. I mean, out of the goodness of his heart, he tried to repair a warforge that he could have easily stripped and sold for copper.
Maybe you'll become another fine addition to his collection.
No. That's the Emerald dude. That'll be the Emerald dude when I inevitably get killed. He's just gonna show up out of nowhere and take my remains.
Use you as like a standee.
Yeah.
Use you as a coat rack.
I'm a hat holder.
Puts
Yes.
like a mechanical bit like in your arm just so that it looks like you're constantly lifting.
No, like I got my hand forward, like I'm offering it, and he just puts a hat on it. Right, I forgot to switch off my noises for the session.
Um,
So, any new insights from this fellow who has also made it blatantly clear that he will provide no further insights until we complete some very ill-explained challenge of his?
well, I mean, it depends. Do you want to like detect his thoughts in any way?
I don't think we
We
do the mystics have detect thoughts? Because I don't think the rest of
No.
us can.
Yeah, because I know you guys like tried to I know we tried to insight him and that went nowhere.
There's one
I
way of
don't
putting
know
it.
if I think Pearl might have the ability to do it, but you know, that's up to Pearl.
Sure. I mean, currently she's just happy that there's chili.
I mean, that is perfectly fair. I am I am in dire need of hit points. I am wonderfully at 1 hit point.
It's not me this time.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here like I had a pretty good track record so far. I hadn't taken enough damage to warrant losing my hit dice uh, for a long time. And you know, all it takes is a bridge.
A bridge and a canyon and a
A
little
bridge,
gust of
a
wind.
bridge, a canyon, and a gust of wind.
Yeah.
The wind was at me back all right. Except the problem is that's not what I wanted. The wind did not have my back. It pushed.
Anything else that you guys as a party wanted to do?
I'm good.
No.
Oh, okay, so you're just
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I mean, I suppose it would be rude to take this guy's hut offer and not have at least small talk with him, but you know, I'm mostly focusing on maintenance and I assume Ticker's doing the same.
Yeah.
And I need to heal a little bit as well.
All right. So we're gonna call this a long rest then.
I think so.
All right.
Wait till daybreak and then possibly examine those cactuses because they seem to be very important. Spencer keeps referencing them.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
They were important enough that the Minecraft world we made is absolutely infested with them. Anyways, I need to roll hit dice.
Yeah, so do I
Yes.
do. So I
Roll,
use one.
You guys gain back 1 hit die and you can immediately spend it.
Oh wow, yeah.
I mean, wait, so how many hit dice are we getting back at the end of long rests again?
1.
Just 1.
Oh, just one, despite the fact we're level 4. Okay.
Oh yeah, there is no pluses to this unless there was a plus con.
You had your Constitution
Yeah,
modifier.
Yeah.
there's
All right.
there's con.
So that should be a 1. All right. That's better than before. That's better than before. I am now
I never took
sitting.
any damage.
I am now.
You should have up to 4 hit dice, Scarvo.
Yeah.
Oh
You're
yeah.
level 4.
If you still have hit dice left, you can use those as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I only had one left, so
I
mean-
had one and then I lost it, but now I have a new one, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, what's the worst that could happen? I'm currently at 8 hit points,
I thought you.
which is
shouldn't you
exactly
have
what
all-
I started with.
Shouldn't you have all your hit dice right now?
you said you haven't spent yours for a while, so which means that you should have all 4 of your hit dice.
Oh yeah.
I, however, am a different story.
I might have used them a couple times to heal up like minor injuries,
Maybe.
just to make sure I was in tip-top
Oh yeah, I
shape.
got cured of the tetanus. That's right.
I might
Right.
have.
So I don't need to make any saves or anything. 'Cause I got over that bout of tetanus.
Oh, you're right.
That's right.
I should have at least 2.
You should have like all of yours, all 4 of yours.
All right. I'll just
Wait, why do we only get back 1 at the end of a long rest again? I forget.
it
Uh,
was the way Spencer wanted to run things. He wanted to run
yeah,
that
yeah.
getting healed wasn't
A little bit slower.
as easy as
Yeah.
So
usually
that
hit.
you
I know, I
guys
know,
would
I know
like
that's why you didn't get hit points. I
not
know that was why.
hastily go into everything.
Yeah, I know
You
that's why
guys
you
did
wouldn't
that
get hit
anyways.
points. Oh, I knew that was why you wouldn't get hit points, but I forgot about the reason for the hit dice. Or is it because I spent 1? I bet it's because I spent 1.
It's just fun.
Because like normally at level 4 we should be getting back 2
Normally.
normally, but
Yeah.
we're doing a slower healing thing, so yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep 1 hit. I'm gonna keep 1 hit die for a rainy day.
The rainy day. This is the rainy day. You're at 8 hit points.
I'm currently at about not even a little over half my hit points actually. So I'm
Oh.
at now that I've rolled 2 more hit dice. So
Oh,
I think
indeed
that,
you have.
yeah. So I think that's actually a
Oh,
decent
18.
place
So you're
to.
at 19, I think.
Yeah, I am at 19. So I think that's actually a good position to keep Skirvo at for now.
I mean, I was at 19 a couple sessions ago, and I've been rolling 1 hit die a day ever since to try and fix that.
Let's see. Do we have any magic items that need identified?
We do not, I believe. I think you identified all our magic
Pretty sure I did too.
items.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. The papers. Yeah, I was gonna look at those later. I'm not gonna look at them right now.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
All right.
you could use your long rest to see what you can do for poor Skirvo. He fell off a bridge.
Well, yeah.
Thankfully, this isn't Humpty Dumpty. The king's horses and king's men were not the idiots involved. It was people who actually knew what they were doing were able
Yeah.
to put him back together again.
Well, you were already put back together again when we found you, so
Yeah, exactly.
You were
I have a
functional.
crazy idea. So since I worked on repairing the arm that got torn off.
Yeah.
So I know like the workings of it at least a little bit. I was wondering if I could like start drafting up plans to integrate Skirbo's pistol into his arm.
Give me
Like-
start.
This is just asking Spencer if I could start drafting up plans to do that.
Yeah. What is it? What should I do here? Okay, drafting up plans to like do something. I feel like
To tinker it into his arm.
yeah. It's like so you have to make a
Integrated weapon,
sketch
basically.
first. We're going to say that it takes. That'll be like a 16-hour process.
Okay.
And when you have it, you get advantage, or at least when
Advantage
you
on the check
eventually
made
want
to do that. Actually,
Yes.
I feel like integrating his sword would be cooler, so I'm gonna do that.
All right.
He's gonna. Yeah,
Work
he'll
on
need
figuring out how to integrate his sword into his arm so that it's like the sword's just a part of his arm, and he
Yeah. At the very least, we can also get materials to give him an additional blade.
Yeah.
And then I could take dual wielding.
Yep. You take the dual wielder feat, and then you got 2 swords, and they're part of your arms. And,
Yep. 2 swords and because one of them would be part of my arm, I could probably even still wield my pistol.
Well, the idea was like your hand
Yeah.
flips around and is replaced by the blade of the sword.
Oh yeah, I know. It was like Davy Jones, but I also kind of picture like the or not Davy Jones,
Silver.
Long John Silver. Yeah. But
Shoot. There.
but I also like couldn't help but
Make a
imagine
charm
that the
save.
like I imagine that if you did that for I imagine that if you did it for the
Sure.
guns.
I have advantage on this save. Because I'm
Yes,
an elf.
you remember it now.
Yeah. I had a I
That's
had
what,
a
wisdom?
No, it's charisma.
Charisma. Well, it doesn't make
I
a
had
difference.
a
Plus 0.
yeah.
1,
I was
2.
thinking that the
Nat 20!
Nat 20. Okay, so during the middle of the night, Clara, or at least in the middle of your
yeah,
meditating, Clara just
I should probably give her the other bottle of blood. I
um
wasn't there for the other night.
Clara comes up to you and just asks if she can have like some of your life force.
And you
She
find this
looks at you with the widest puppy dog eyes that you've ever seen on any sort of humanoid.
No.
Clara, over here.
Ah! She turns around. It's like
Yeah.
she eyes at the bottle.
Yep.
Just like
Yeah.
takes one final look at there and just kind of like
Yeah.
disappointed, and then trods off towards
Yeah.
Skirbo.
Gonna need to refill these. I don't have any blood left. She's drinking a lot. I mean, if she only drinks half the bottle this time, though, we'll have to see what she does because it's best to keep her fed and not doing anything most of the day, rather than only half fed and doing things the rest of the day.
She downs the entire bottle.
All right.
As if suckling on it, as if it was
Obstacle?
as if it was like a bottle.
Yep.
And eventually falls down and falls asleep.
Give her some gentle, almost fatherly head pats while taking the bottle back, and then going, "Bugger, I'm gonna need to get more of these." Something you need to say, Mr. Theron?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I was just kind of assuming that Theron was giving me like a weird look the whole time.
Oh, I was like meditating, like my eyes was like,
Yeah.
no, why would I give you that? And just look over
Yeah.
and be like,
Hmm,
wait,
good.
what are you doing with the bottle of blood? Why is
I think
But-
you're asking. I think tonight's. I don't think tonight's the right night to ask so many questions.
Theron might be thinking
answer the
that
bloody
Clara
question,
isn't
man?
exactly a half elf.
Just answer the question, you stupid robot. What
He
in the
goes,
world does a robot need with a bottle of blood?
Question for
Why are you
future
giving it to a child?
question for future reference, because it'll be a while before I can do this, but I just want to know for future reference.
Yeah.
Because it's because it's used in things like black pudding, could I use create food and water to create blood?
Give me a second while I look at the exact wording of that spell.
Here, I'll just read it for you. You create 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water on the ground or in containers within range, enough to sustain up to 15 humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours. The food is bland but nourishing and spoils if uneaten after 24 hours. The water is clean and doesn't go bad.
I mean, in theory, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say so.
Alright.
I was, by the way, John. In terms of the blade arm, I kind of picture that that integrating the gun, it does it like Silver's did, but but I figured that like the sword would probably work closer to how the arm blade from Arcane worked, where it just sort of extended out through the hand itself, kind of in a giving it much more maneuverability.
I don't know, maybe.
It was actually it came out between the it comes out between the ring finger and the middle finger.
Okay. Well,
It's a I'll have to
regardless,
show you.
for balance reasons, you normally can't use that hand for anything else, so.
Yeah. I'll have to show you. I'll have to show you a clip of what that looks like. Anyway, it's pretty cool. Have you watched Arcane all the way through?
I don't even know what Arcane is.
Netflix series based off League of Legends. Trust me,
Oh.
you don't need to understand League of Legends to know this series.
I have not.
Yeah, it's a really good show. The animation is fantastic.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Bisexuality.
Yeah,
all right. Now,
still not enough Twitch. So 5 out of 10.
5 out of 7 for score.
yes, I liked it. It wasn't afraid. It wasn't afraid to show things that you'd rather it didn't. Let's watch a kid die.
Yeah.
That's and you know what? We're not even doing that for no reason. We're going to treat this with the exact amount of seriousness you'd expect this to be treated with.
Anyways,
So
Continuing on to the
daytime
morning.
comes around. Ticker, we're going to say that you started doing this at the beginning, so you're 8 hours done with like your theorizing.
yeah. With me
And your
planning
plans.
out like in relation to the other mechanisms in the arm that I saw. And... write that down somewhere.
But yes, it is morning now.
And we have a 3-mile hike to the mysterious fog cloud.
Well, yeah, but I
That's
think
actually
we
not
should.
that far, though. 3 miles?
Yeah.
That's actually not very far.
I think we need to gather more information about the surrounding area before we attempt those clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Because that fog, we already know basically what's going to happen when we go in that fog. We're going to get lost until we eventually find our way out of it. Which is thankfully the B team has already figured that out for us. So
How do we work our way out of it again? Refresh my
I
memory.
don't think it was explained. I think all Dig Dug heard was that they were ranting and raving super angrily about the fact that they were lost for a while until they eventually just found a way out. So they're so I don't know about you, but I don't want to end up like I don't know about you, but I don't want to end up as I don't want to end up like that one firebender general from Avatar.
Mm.
Wandering the fog for all eternity.
Well, in theory, if it's not windy, we can leave a trail behind. Like either use rope, but we don't have that much rope.
That is true.
We've got 500 feet of rope.
Yeah, that is true. However, we
could just take a stick and just drag a line through the sand.
Yep.
Provided it's not windy.
Yeah. However, we are right next to the suspicious field of cacti. So I propose we make way for those.
Yeah.
As not only are we like literally right there, we just need to travel a square or two and then we're there. But also there might be, who knows, there might be some hidden secret goodies there, as well as they're just things in general. I feel like this is just where we're supposed to go. There's just I got a gut feeling, which is a weird thing to say since I'm a robot.
So you guys travel. Yeah. So you guys wake up, or I'm assuming that it's the consensus that you guys are going to the cactus field.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
All right. So you guys get close to the cactus field. The cactus field, or at least as you can see, is currently blooming. So there are several fruits that can be picked at this time.
I cast Detect Magic.
All right.
Wait. Isn't this actually around where the other team members went?
How far is Detect Magic again?
30-foot radius, I want to say. Yeah.
I feel like it's either 30 or 60.
It's 30-foot radius.
30 feet.
We should probably. Is there a mark for the old man's hut?
You know what? I'll put one second.
Yeah, I just
gonna
want to make
switch
sure
it
we
to-
don't lose that.
Gonna be,
I mean,
I'm just
right
gonna
next
do
to the
this little fire
cactus field.
symbol. There we go.
Right next to the cactus field is. There we go. Right next to the cactus field is a good indicator, but it's also nice to just have a spot marked.
Okay, so with that detect magic, where exactly are you going? Are you going to the place where you saw the dragon skeleton last night? Are you going to, or are you just
Oh,
casting?
the skeleton was actually in the cactus field?
Yes.
Oh. I completely forgot about that. That explains why Theron ate it with a cactus.
Mhm. Fell on my face.
I mean, I
Which
suppose it
cactus?
wouldn't hurt to see if there's anything left remaining from where the skeleton was.
Right. Everyone but Ticker, make a perception check. I guess if you're looking. I mean, it's your choice to look.
I will perception this.
16.
I will perceive that which refuses to be perceived with a
Yeah.
dirty 20.
Fuck.
There is sand. That's what you
I
see,
I hate
Daddy.
sand.
There is sand and
This is
cactuses.
this is the second most boring field trip that you've ever been on.
What was the first?
Um,
Rock Museum.
yeah, you see.
Yeah, Dig Dug. I take offense to that.
Um,
At the museum or
Um,
at the boring thing?
No, yeah, the cactus, the rock museum being boring.
Because I was going, it might take offense at the museum. You'd be like, those rocks need to be being sold. They're just collecting dust.
Gurnbo, something malfunctions with your eye. The eye with the eyeglass in it. And in doing so, you actually look past the cactus field and realize that there's a cave to the north of you.
There's a cave to our north.
Oh.
Okay, so Ticker, with your detect magic, you get a faint sense from the fruits of these cacti.
But school.
I guess you know the school, so I guess it's restoration.
Okay.
So these fruits might be good to take.
I believe these fruits have restoration magic in them.
Really?
Fill the
Let's
bag
see.
of holding with as many as we can.
What else?
Failing
When
that,
you get
failing
close
that,
to the
have a
place
and
where,
just to clarify,
Well-
it's just restoration I'm seeing, right?
yes, it's just restoration.
Okay. Because I don't want us to get beckoning groved here.
I mean, yeah. I don't want us to get the lotus eaters. I don't want us
Yeah.
to get lotus.
Because they would
eaters.
absolutely have enchantment on them if that was the case.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you do sense enchantment, but it's coming from the bone dust that you assume that's where the was. Actually, it's more like enchantment and necromancy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
area where
if it's a
bone
lich, it would have
dragon
necromancy.
Yeah, where the
There's also
Where
some
the-
enchantment and necromancy where the dragon was.
Lovely.
figured as much. I didn't stutter when I said it was a lich, did I?
Well, the fact that
No,
enchantment
I'm
magic is
genuinely
present could mean that it is not acting under its own will.
An interesting fact. Perhaps if we find there might be, if it's necromancy, we might be able to find a source and destroy it. Then again, if it's a lich, that's how we're gonna have to do this anyways.
Necessarily.
Phylacteries
Well,
phylacteries are infamously difficult to destroy.
Yes.
Maybe we can bargain with it like we did the last one.
Perhaps. Though Though in my experience, the living dead tend to be the least negotiable.
Anyway, I say we get as many of these fruits as we can stuff in the bag of holding, or maybe put some on your ship before we go.
Worst case, I have a storehouse that is in dire need of new supplies. They
Ooh, this.
How long do you guys want to spend picking fruit? Because
have-
I will say that you have a maximum of 2 days that you could probably spend if you want to go to each individual cacti and pick a fruit.
I have
I
a
think we'll be.
cool idea. Could
What is
I
it?
use the whirlwind effect of my mastery of weather to like pick a whole bunch of fruit at once?
Yes, but there will be some unintended consequences.
Like
I'm
flying
assu-
cactus.
Yes.
Well, yes, flying cactus and possibly damaging the fruit.
Well, I was gonna say flying cactus that has spikes, damaging us.
Yes, but
I'll consider it, but I
really,
won't actually do it.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think we need to collect way too much, because if we like go around collecting every single individual fruit, most of it's going to go rotten before we eat it.
Yeah, probably spend an hour.
Hour or two. Yeah. That sounds reasonable for
Mm-hmm.
the amount of fruit we need versus how much of our party is there. Granted, Skirvo still could technically partake in them, but if their healing abilities aren't going to be of any use to him, then there's no point for him to. So, that's mostly just you guys
Mm-hmm.
and your bizarre fleshy needs.
It is an
Yeah.
interesting question. Could you heal a Warforged by casting Mending on them?
No,
I think we've established that we can, actually.
not normally because mending does. I believe mending specifies that it heals constructs, but Warforged aren't constructs.
Really?
Actually, it doesn't even specify that it. Okay, it can physically repair a magic item or construct, but it can't restore magic to such an object. And because hit points aren't meat points, I could probably piece together. You could probably use it for like reattaching a Warforged arm, but
Yeah, I
it
think
wouldn't
that's
actually
what
restore any
you can
hit
do.
points.
Hang on, I'll
Well,
pull up the Warforged.
I know
real
Warforged technically aren't considered constructs, but you can use Mending to heal things like, construct familiars and steel defenders
Yeah,
and
but
arcane cannons
also
and the like. But those
those
aren't
are
really alive. Those are robots.
those are full constructs, and also they're on a power on a balance perspective. They're familiars. They're not player characters.
Yeah.
If I could heal a Warforged with Mending, I could
Which is
heal
a cantrip.
Skirvo for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would just
Hang
take
on,
me a little while.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything saying that on the Warforge page that you can do it that way. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think like you are. I think I think there was something somewhere that said that a use of mending was to be able to reattach a Warforged player's arm.
What we could do, this is a
But
thing that the Auto Gnome has, which is the
Mhm.
only other like constructy player race.
Mhm.
It basically, if Mending is cast on you, you can expend a hit die. We could do that
all right.
if Spencer would allow that. We could do that.
Oh. Anyways, I say we get to the fruit picking.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Otherwise, we're just standing here like a bunch of fruits.
Bumps on a log.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I'm gonna
So
be
for the
careful not
check-
to prick myself.
so the checks that I'm going to say that you could make for this, you could make it a nature check, or a survival check.
Is everyone doing this, or is it just one person?
Well,
Anyone who wants to.
anyone who wants to.
Okay, I'm going to do
It's just-
survival because it's not a negative modifier.
I will do nature because I can.
what were the
Nature or
what were the
survival?
just nature? Survival is my proficiency.
Might as well.
Nice.
18,
Alright.
11, 15, and 18.
Question: isn't this cactus field like the area where Hrobnar and Gretchen went, or was that a different cactus?
We went to the mountains, to a cave.
Oh, I thought they went to a cactus field for some reason.
Nah, Spirit was right. They went to a cactus field.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, so,
That is a good question.
In-
Is it the cactus field they went to?
well,
I mean-
this specific one, I don't know, maybe.
I was mainly asking to see if there was a possibility that we run into them.
Okay, so
They missed a lot.
okay, so we're going to say in the hour that each of you spend there, Ticker, you get whatever you rolled on your dice. So Ticker got 18 of these fruits, Theron got 11, Skirbo got 15, and Pylon got 18.
So we have
15,
36.
62 of them.
Okay, 62.
62
62 restoration cactus fruits. I assume we're putting them in the bag of holding.
Yep.
Yep, we'll put them there
And
for.
if you put fruit in you can vacuum seal fruit, so it wouldn't be a bad
Yeah,
idea to put it in a vacuum chamber, basically.
Yep. All right.
Oh, I guess no. No, Dig Dug keeps his own, and Pearl, she gives you. Give me a second.
Yeah. Big Doug's welcome to keep his. He is, after all, technically a hired party. He's technically hired help. He's I guess yeah, that's what he is. He's a contractor. Everyone else is part of the ship. He's a contractor on the ship.
Pearl is kind of terrible at this and gets 3. You realize that she's eaten or at least you realize that there's some cactus juice on her face.
Okay, I'm not gonna judge.
Yeah, not gonna judge. She's a hungry one.
Yeah. And now we have 65
let's
cactus
see.
fruits. So
A nice rounded out number.
so what?
Mhm.
So yeah, next time we rest, I'm gonna figure out what these do. But
Yeah.
Or next time one of us takes damage and we eat one.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
My guess is they
Guinea
might
pig, what
they might.
happens?
My immediate guess is out of character they might function like good berries.
Very big good berries.
This is
However,
like somewhere
you
in
can only
between a
eat one
good.
of them at a time.
This is something in between a good berry and a potion of basic healing.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out.
And who knows? They might even have a bit of charm on them to make so that when you well, not even like real charm, just like kind of a alchemical charm because it turns out they're also kind of like the cactus juice from the last Airbender. You see stuff, man. You just had that ready, didn't you?
It's
Trying to
currently
like right as you said that, man.
What on earth?
Bro, it's like the best scene in Avatar, bro.
I keep meaning
Yeah.
to watch it.
Yeah.
What
Bear in
am I
mind,
looking
this
at?
scene barely makes sense with the context.
Yeah, man.
It was just a scene where they were like, "Oh, we're hungry. We're in the middle of the desert," and then Sokka's like, "Well, let's just try to drink this cactus juice," and then apparently he might as well have been on drugs.
Okay. Anyways,
Okay,
moving
then.
on.
Yep.
Let's go check. Let's go check out this cave.
To the
Yeah.
cave.
All right.
Cave's what, a quarter
Yeah.
mile away?
Obviously.
Yeah, we got some cave exploration to do.
No, it's less than a quarter mile.
600 feet.
All right. We're gonna say that you get like right there.
Oh yes, I should
on
mark
top of it.
lantern in my inventory because I got some of those
2
from
miles.
my ship.
All right.
Okay.
Because we already ruled that there are lanterns on the ship to be able to see. Because
All right.
the inside of ships are dark.
Yeah. Oh.
Literally the only
Okay.
way to see inside those things.
Trying to think back. So you guys make it to the entrance of this cave. In front of the cave, or at least slightly inside the cave, there seems to be a spring of water. Other than that, you can't see too far into the cave without, let's say, a perception check.
Okay.
Don't actually remember what our water reserves are at.
I have a
To
full
be
water
fair,
scan apparently.
What?
I apparently have a full water scan. I've never had to. It's never really mattered because we've either had, been able to get the supplies or I've been able to just.
Yeah. Infinite water you don't even need to drink, and I don't need to drink. I'm mostly keeping an eye out for the rest of you people. I'm the captain after all. I have to pay attention what everyone else needs.
Dang it.
If I wasn't the captain, this wouldn't have meant anything to me.
Perception check into the cave, you said.
Yes, perceive.
Nope.
Perceive.
The cave is made out of cave.
And
It's very cave-like.
Nope.
Turbo got a 21. I mean, it makes
Scarrow was
sense.
the only one who can see anything, apparently.
Yeah. He's been seeing real good, except the one time he didn't see something, like when he didn't see it coming that he was gonna fall off that bridge.
all right. Skirvo, with that perception check, you see farther into the cave than others. I don't know if Paimon has that same roll.
Oh, does dark vision make a difference?
Oh, perception?
Perception.
Alright, sweet.
Spencer, does dark vision make a difference?
Oh, it's the same. Okay.
Yeah, I guess dark vision does make a difference.
So I have dark vision.
As do I. I'm pretty sure that Paimon and Skirbo are the only two that don't.
Yeah, I don't have dark vision.
No dark vision here. We'll
Do I
fix
need to
that in the
roll
new.
insight?
We'll fix that in an upcoming hardware update.
Yeah. As described of, he bought goggles at night.
Yep.
Theron and Ticker, you guys see that the cave doesn't, or at least you guys perceive that the cave doesn't go too far in, and seems to abruptly stop with a flat wall of some sorts. Skirvo and Paimon, as you gaze into the water of this spring, you see a shiny object.
Now, what would that be? Now, Skirvo's gonna make way into the cave because, while I'm sure Maddie would love to jump at the opportunity to grab something shiny, Skirvo don't need to breathe, so he can just go in and not risk drowning.
As we discovered, you can drown in the desert, or almost drown in the desert.
Rats are good swimmers, okay?
Better swimmers than our elf, apparently.
I was poisoned first.
It's kind of hard to swim if you're
Still,
unconscious.
get good, scrub.
All right. How do you want to go about this? Do you want to jump in, or do you just want to
How deep
walk
is
in
it?
casually to the spring? The deep part where you see the shiny object, yeah, it's about 20 feet deep.
20 feet deep, whereas, is it just like a straight drop off, or is there a gradual slope?
It's a mixture of two. Towards the shoreline of the spring, it's gradual, save be what looks like some sort of slope. Well, there's one slope at a part of it, but the rest of it seems to just drop off.
Right. Well, yeah, I'll just kind of Well, hang on. I'm gonna look around to see if there's any unfriendly swimming critters in the water.
With the 21,
Yeah.
you see cavefish. I guess that's another thing. Paimon, you also see cavefish and a couple of salamanders.
Okay.
Take them with us if it wasn't for the fact that they would immediately die as soon as they exited this cave.
They become jerky.
Yep. And unfortunately, there's not enough salamander here to get blood.
Here,
Not, and I'm pretty sure Clara would not be okay with me killing salamanders. Salamanders are dope, yo.
let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
As far as they go, like the cavefish are no bigger than your hand.
Yeah. So, yeah, small salamanders and small cavefish. Got it. So we're
Yes.
gonna. So you know what? I'm just gonna tell Ticker to keep mental communication up.
Yep.
I'll be back in a minute. And so Skirvo's going to walk just sort of.
I'm gonna hand him the end of a rope.
Yep. Skirvo's gonna take the rope and then just kind of walk into the water, Terminator-esque, just sinking deeper and deeper until he's just at the bottom.
All right.
And I'll take a look at and let's see what this shiny thing is before I risk touching it.
As you look closer at the rod, well, it's now been identified that it's a rod, a golden rod of sorts. It seems to be just stuck there, facing kind of at an angle.
Stuck, you say?
Yes.
Is detect magic going off at all?
Yeah, it lasts
I
for like
guess
an
I should
hour.
have said that it only lasts for an hour. It's been more than an hour because I spent a lot of.
I mean, I can cast it again.
All right. I assume you're casting it as a ritual.
Yeah.
Probably
once I
you can
saw what
choose to wait, or you could just go ahead anyways.
What was it?
I'm gonna cast detect magic to see if this thing is magical before
All
you
right.
pull at it.
I'll let Mr. Ticker do his thing. Just casually chill underwater.
All right. Have to give you the school of what it is.
It's. I mean, this water serves as better lube than that sand. That's for sure.
Oh gosh. This doesn't say what kind of magic it is. Okay, give me a second.
But it is magic.
Yep.
Yes.
For some reason, I'm thinking it's an immovable rod.
That would be so funny.
If it is an immovable rod, that would be transposition.
Yeah. It's just.
Huh. Well, then you get transposition, right?
Okay. An aura of transposition magic should be safe to touch at least.
Yeah, let us. All right.
Probably.
All right then, Mr. Ticker. I am attempting to extract the foreign object.
It's been a while since we heard the radio announce our voice.
Well, yeah, it's been like a whole session. Last session was spent more with Skirvo screaming as he fell off a cliff.
This is true. Well, I just don't think you were doing the voice the last couple times. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
Could have been just me.
All right. So I attempt to pick up the rod.
Make a strength check.
I was wondering what check you were going to make me do.
Yep, it's an immovable rod.
Yep.
Yeah. There should be a button on the top of the stick if it isn't an immovable rod. Not that I'm there to tell you this.
13.
Well, yeah, and not that Theron would necessarily even know that.
Yeah.
As you try to pull on the rod, it doesn't seem to budge.
Huh. I'm going to examine the rod a little closer, see if there's something I'm missing.
At the tip of the rod, there seems to be a strange jewel attached to the top of it. You can't tell if it's like you can't tell if it's like a lion's eye diamond or if it's simply just or simply just a type of emerald.
I'm going to I'm going to I'm gonna poke at the gem to see if it's like a real gem and not like glass or something.
Um,
I
Alright.
haven't taken my hand off the rod, by the way.
Are you still using strength to pull on it?
Not like a little bit, like trying to see if trying to see what I'm trying to I'm trying to just push into it and also just just kind of trying to move it towards me if I can.
Um, so you click it, and the rod, or at least you touch the top of the rod, and it immediately starts to move.
Immediately starts to move. So are we talking with that poor 13 that I just immediately just kind of flip backwards underwater?
Something like that.
Yep.
And then the sound of the ground shaking below you begins to happen as a entrance appears in the darkness.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just like, I have the rod! And now there's a cave. A further cave.
Down in the water, or like at the abrupt ending of the cave, or
Down in the water.
Does the
Okay.
water level lower at all?
Yes.
Like, how significantly?
A lot. Like
Right. Like,
the
not
water
fully
just
Did it fully drain, or?
it fully drained with the. Actually, make me a strength saving throw to see if you're pulled in as well.
All right.
keep in mind, I am holding on to him with a rope.
I am all. Yeah. Yeah, I presume we tied it around me because I needed both
Something
hands.
like that. But
Yeah.
like when you went to use both hands, you tie the rope around yourself or something like that. So
Yeah. Oh boy.
14. You manage to hold your ground, but the salamanders and the cavefish just start flowing into this now open cavern.
So now, dripping wet in the desert again. For a seafaring captain in the middle of a desert, I'm underwater a surprising amount in this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like if this were a Lego game, Skirvo's sole character feature is to be able to walk underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so looking around, I propose we look deeper into this cave.
I will
Also,
join him
Mr. Ticker.
at the bottom of the pond.
Also, Mr. Ticker. Yeah, Mr. Ticker. Here is this staff of some kind. It didn't move much.
I'll look into its properties next time we make camp.
Suddenly,
Out of
suddenly
character, I
flung
already know what it is, so I'm just going to write down it as what it is. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we both could have rolled arcane to see if we knew what it was, but I didn't care enough. It's let's
Magic stick.
Yep. Yeah, magic stick. Let us touch.
Mhm.
So, like, it didn't seem as nefarious as what it may be guarding.
Yeah.
Another question: did the entrance just sort of appear, or did it or was it almost like a cave in?
Think of it more as like sliding open.
Ah, all right.
Like
So we'll,
like one of those Scooby-Doo based things.
yeah, yes. Well, let us.
Ooh, spooky.
If
Well,
you're
let
Into the
us.
cur-
cave.
Well,
If you're
gang, let us
curious,
go down into
Joey-
that cave and search for clues.
if you're curious, Joey, I just checked out of curiosity. The DC on that strength check was 30.
Skirbo wasn't gonna make that ever.
Not without a
Kalani
nat 20,
could've
he
made it.
wasn't.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, no, like a nat 20 would have only meant a 21.
Yeah, but a nat 20 is usually seen as like an auto success. So.
Yeah. Kalani could have made that strength throw.
Anyway, actually no, because it would have been even a nat 20 would have been what, like a 25 or
Kalani had
27?
Kalani had like.
Because it's
Yeah,
it's just strength check, not athletics check.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. Yeah, she had an 8.
Okay, so yeah, it'd be a 28 with a nat 20. Anyways, looking deep into the darkness with 120
Yes,
feet of dark vision.
I
60 feet of dark vision.
I light me lantern.
All right. You find your lantern to be wet.
Yes, that is correct. I'll allow it to dry out.
All right.
I'll make his lantern
I'll
glow
let-
in a 5-foot radius using magical tinkering in the meantime.
Right.
Yeah, we can just
So
we
it's
can just rely on
It's not very
ticker.
bright. It's just 5-foot radius of bright light, 5-foot radius of dim light beyond that. But I can do it for free, so.
Alright.
And it lasts indefinitely.
Lovely.
Well,
All
cast that.
Who wants to be the first to go in?
I'm gonna make a perception check before I go in.
I will also
Alright.
make a perception check.
Wow, Skirvo's not rolling great all of a sudden.
That's a nat 1. The darkness is made of darkness.
Yes. It is
Sure.
made of darkness and
It
the
is
lack of
pitch
light.
black, so I'm not able to see anything.
Ticker sees into the abyss and thinks, "Well, this is a waste of time."
What's the 14 tell me?
A 14 tells you that there seems to be the slope from earlier appears to be more defined as a walkway.
Ah.
It's a walkway.
And there seems to be stairs going down.
And there are downward going stairs.
Yeah, let's say this. My eyes were having trouble adjusting to the darkness after the brightness of the desert sun.
Yep. Something like that.
Yup. Anyhow, let us continue on our trek deeper into this cave.
Because that's not a bad idea at all.
Not in the
No,
slightest.
I don't know what you mean.
Let's
I have
continue.
no idea what you're talking
Alright.
about.
You guys continue down.
It's
What
actually-
order are you guys in?
I'll go first because I am the designated trap checker.
I will take second rank.
third.
I'll take last.
And whoever's, and I guess everyone else is between me and Paimon.
Yes. Well, except for the camel. The camel is left at the top.
I forgot there was a camel.
Mm-hmm. The camel was the new Jerry.
I'm
Hand up
going to
the-
need each of you to roll me a dex saving throw.
It
A
is slippery.
Dex save. Dex save. Good thing I have +7 then.
Yes.
Ah!
Solid as a rock.
Even more solid.
Next.
Nat
Oh,
20 +7.
oh,
At least if I fall, Theron rolled a nat 20, so.
If it's
So I'll
slippery,
bump
he
into
used
him.
it. If it's slippery, Theron used it to his advantage.
All right. Wait,
Have you
one
been
more.
ice skating before?
Yeah.
All right. Each of you managed to make it down the steps and manage to avoid the salamander that's just kind of like basking on one of the steps, or at least is kind of stuck there at the moment.
Little
You
salamander.
travel down for what seems to be about an hour, before suddenly a light glows beyond the corner of this vestiture of space. The pathway seems to seems to like get bigger at some points, smaller at others, until it finally expands out to a giant room towards the end.
Okay.
I see.
But yes, there's a glowing light around the corner.
Perceive the light. At a 23.
You perceive the light, so I guess you're just going around the corner then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess technically Theron would be the first one to look.
Yeah, 9.
Um,
The floor is made out of floor.
I love
Come
that we
on,
put
Tinker,
you in.
roll good for once.
You love that we what?
You rolled good for the other stuff. What are you talking about?
I rolled good
You love that we
for a
what?
couple other things.
Joey?
What? I was just thinking it's funny that we always put Theron in front despite the fact that he is clearly the worst at seeing things. we're effectively going like all right,
Meat
Mr.
shield, go!
Magoo. All right, Mr. Magoo, you take point. All right, click, tick, 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 tick. As he checks around with his blind man seeing stick.
Theron, as you look around the corner, you see what appears to be a very, very large bubble.
There's a big bubble.
A dome, if you will.
A what?
A dome, if you will.
There's a dome.
Around, or at least around your feet, you see basically where all the water went to. As what it looks like appears to be a underground lake of sorts, as this bubble just kind of sits on the surface of this lake.
There's a bubble on top of an underground lake, probably where all the water went.
I hope all the fish made it to the underground lake.
If not, we're having sushi tonight.
Well, if not, I'd feel bad because they're cave fish, and cave fish just chill. They don't even see, man. It's dark down there. Eyes were deemed unnecessary.
Theron, after seeing this, what do you do?
After I tell them this, I...
Oh. Yeah.
While the rest of
Actually,
us come around the corner.
yeah, I walk around the corner.
Yeah. What do I see with my warforged eye?
You see that there are plenty of exotic-looking fish in the water, as well as some things that are moving inside the bubble.
Something's in that bubble.
Can he make out what it is that's moving, or is it just something?
It appears to be something blurry, something amphibian in form.
So it's alive. Something alive in that bubble.
We poke the bubble. We try and pop the bubble.
Well, now hang on. Maybe they're doing this on. Maybe they're in charge of the bubble, and they wouldn't much appreciate us just bursting into his home and knocking down his windows.
Bubbles so large don't form naturally. This bubble is likely reinforced by magic.
Well, I mean, yes.
Is it
so impossible to? Is it impossible to believe that somebody might make a magic house?
I was simply mentioning that it would be more difficult to pop than one would believe.
Should we try to pop it?
Son, I've been on the sea for years. I know water doesn't do this normally.
I love how the three of us are having this discussion about whether or not we should pop the bubble and how it's probably going to be harder because it's a magic bubble. And then there's Paimon who's just sitting there.
Pulls out a cheese stick and quietly munches on it.
Nichols quietly it's just like string cheese, just like takes the lid off, starts to.
You hear that, Maddie? You got string cheese out of this.
Good.
It was in your pile of trash that you found at your uncle's place.
Nice.
Score, bro.
Yeah. So, you know what? I suppose I might as well see if I roll and see how I do. I don't think I'll do that well, but I'm Arcana checking that bubble with a 15.
Wouldn't it be better to do a nature check? Yeah, we already determined it's probably magic because of its size. Never mind. Don't listen.
Yeah, because of the size and the fact that it's
Yeah.
seems to be a bubble of water with an amphibious creature inside of it.
It's safe to assume that this bubble has some sort of magic to it.
That's all Skirvo can glean.
Yes.
All
It's
right.
a magic bubble.
Okay,
All right. You want to do your thing, Mr. Ticker?
probably couldn't hurt.
I'm gonna. While he does that, I'm gonna examine the fishies to see if any of them are any of the nasty breeds that like to bite people.
Alright, so nature check.
Yep. Because I know cave fish aren't. They're small and insignificant. But everything else in there, that worries me.
Could be piranhas.
Ooh, 17.
Quippers? A swarm of quippers in this pool?
With a 17, what nefarious things lie in this here pond?
Well, it's very sizable.
Yeah, I know. You said it's a lake, which to be a lake, it has to be really freaking big.
Yep. You look into the waters, which are surprisingly crystal clear.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I should have stated earlier that the bubble is the thing that's emitting light in this room.
Okay.
Yeah.
You look into the waters and you see many forms of exotic fish, many of which you have never seen before, save being for in textbooks. You see a couple of colicots and
Coelacanths.
coelacanths. There's a couple of horseshoe crabs.
Yes.
And what appears to be trilobites and animals.
I'm curious if coelacanths would have still been alive once. Well, actually, no, coelacanths are still alive. Never mind.
Yeah, they are.
They're just
Such a
really
shame
rare.
that we don't. It's such a shame that we don't have a way to keep a living horseshoe crab with us, because otherwise I'd take it as a good luck charm.
I mean, horseshoe
Those
crab
things
blood
will
is
live
one of
forever, man.
horseshoe crab blood is one of the most valuable liquids in the real world.
Yeah,
yes,
I know.
It is the most valuable animal product that you can get, more expensive than ivory by weight.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure
Yep.
some venoms would be more expensive, but
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But anywho.
But yes, you've I don't know, at some point in like your long history of boat riding, you read a book once, and this book was about a extinct fish species, and you're starting to see a couple of those as well. Is that a sea scorpion that you see?
Oh, dear goodness.
sea scorpions aren't actually like.
Actually,
They're basically just meaner looking lobsters.
Well, yeah, I know what they are, but still, I mean, sea scorpions range between 1 meter and 9 meters,
Oh, there.
or 1 yard and what?
Oh, that's
What's
cute.
9 meters? What's 9 meters in yards?
About 9
It's more like 10 or 11.
ish.
Well, I'm
Yeah, but
I'm
like
looking at it.
ish.
Yeah.
That's pretty sizable.
Probably
Yeah.
some Animalocaris is in there too.
Oh yes, the giant ancient mantis shrimp with fly eyeballs.
That the Pokemon Anorith is based on.
Mm.
Yeah.
They like to eat trilobites, I believe.
Anyways, detect magic. Yeah, that's what I was doing. So.
Some extinct creatures in here.
Okay. I guess we're gonna say everyone else has like one more thing that they can choose to do because I assume you're casting these ritual again.
Yeah.
Can we see what's inside the bubble? You said something frog-like.
I
Something
looked at
amphibian.
it. With
You
I
But
wanna
looked
it's
at
get
it.
blurry,
closer
so we
to the-
can't really see it.
Without going inside the bubble, I want to see what's in the bubble.
Do you want to touch the bubble?
How
Not at the moment.
close? How close are we to the bubble versus how deep is the lake? Because I thought you said it was like in the middle of the lake.
Yes, it is very big. Let's see. So you're about 100 feet from the bubble, and there's like a pathway to the bubble.
Oh, okay. So there's actually like a stone pathway, and we won't have to send Skirvo swimming again.
Yes.
Good.
I will go. Once my detect magic is running, I'll go just far enough along the pathway to check on the bubble. So.
Yeah.
Right. But Paimon, did you want to do anything, or are you just gonna casually sit there
No.
eating cheese like
See if
an
there's
animal?
cheese in the trash.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know what to do, Red.
okay. Theron, how
Mhm.
close do you want to get to the bubble?
Close enough to see what's inside without actually touching the bubble.
All right. You can make one more perception check.
As we enter the cave of wonders.
All right. So you like put your eyes up next to the bubble. You can see that there's like an individual, a frog-like individual. Make me uh, either a nature check or investigation check at advantage.
I'll do investigation. Wow, advantage! I got the exact same roll.
8. Um, it's got some toad-like features, that being very bumpy skin. But it seems to be like coming to one of these beings seems to be coming towards you.
Hmm. I take a
And
step back.
still in that time period, or at least time period
I take a
that
step back.
Tinker is still trying to cast, well, ritually cast detect magic. You step back. The individual opens the door. Well, there wasn't a door before, but there's a door now for some reason.
There's a very sudden bubble door.
As some magic kind of transmogrifies the front part of this bubble-like structure into a door.
So
And
like,
then just
I'm
kind of-
imagining like a Gungan city right now, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes.
thinking.
That is a very good analysis.
Yeah.
As this beam just kind of steps out. Second.
I call over. Oh, Captain.
I go from looking at the horseshoe crabs to looking at the bubble that is now open with some form of amphibious creature stepping out.
Is it like a humanoid toad, or is it a?
It is a humanoid toad frog thing.
So it's a
It's
bullywug.
Is it a
got
grung? Out
it's
of
got
character.
like these kind of goofy looking
Does it look a bit like a grung?
um
I think that's
well
what they're
with your
called.
8 like very big grung.
Out of character,
Okay.
I think it's a bullywug,
All right.
which are
Well,
goat people.
Well, hang
Yeah, we'll
on.
say enough time has passed. Detect magic goes off.
Yep. My detect magic monocle thing, like it looks like one of those little jeweler monocle things, finally starts working.
Yeah.
So I have to tune it to every individual thing, and that's how I'm going to flavor that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Fucking
what
Christ.
kind of magic is this bubble spitting out?
Alteration.
That
Transmutation, you
makes
mean?
sense.
Transmutation. I forgot that they renamed that.
All right. Makes sense.
Okay, fair enough. And then,
So,
can I make that nature investigation check on what this thing is?
can I make a new
Yes.
nature based purely on the thing in the bubble that is now stepping out?
Let me
Yes.
nature. That's a nat 20.
Nice.
Hey, Ticker, you also read a history book at some point.
Maybe I've even met one
Uh,
because Motley Crue kind of gang going on.
Maybe.
Somewhere in these books, you went over like different species of like people across. Let's see. Um, of like different species across like the multiverse. Um,
Oh.
you know that these beings, um, while they might look like slotty, um, these guys are what you would call batraki. Batrachi?
Okay. What are they then?
What do you know about them?
Yes.
You know that they've been extinct since the 14th century DR, or at least presumably extinct. You know that they have a long history past, well, long historic past, um, that they, I guess, like, that book would say something that most of them had been mutated into the Slotty, um, and the other ones died out. That they also might be the forefathers of both Bullywogs and Grung, and as well as the shoot, I forgot what they're called. The fish people, not the
Lokata?
Sahagwa, not the
Lokata?
Sahagwa. Yes, those
Kuota.
guys.
Or Kuota. Not Kuotoa?
Kuotoa. I think it's both of them.
Okay.
So this fellow, this kind of brown-looking fellow with several spots, just looks at you and just starts speaking to you guys. Tupac, na dupa.
I will drink one of
You
my
have no
potions of.
idea what he's saying.
I will drink one of my potions of tongues.
All right. You catch him in the later part of the sentence. Um, their sentence structure seems to be a lot different from yours, as normally the let's see, as normally a sentence structure would go subject, well, adjective, subject, verb. Um, theirs goes subject, subject, verb, verb, as far as sentence would go, and then
Okay.
adjectives at the very end.
It's
He
like Latin.
says something along the lines of "Here, what?"
Well, I think. I want to check something real quick. I want to check the description of tongues real quick.
Yeah.
Because tongues might
Just
actually interpret it.
yeah, kind of like a
It just
combat.
says that you gain the ability to understand any spoken language, unlike comprehend languages, which is just you gain the ability to This is more like you gain the literal meaning of it. So
Oh, so
so I actually
supposed-
understand what he's saying. I don't just get the literal meaning.
Right, but you only catch those two words. Like, so you're thinking that if you notice it, I guess make an intelligence check
Okay. Straight intelligence?
or investigation.
Investigation, okay. 16.
All right, 16. He, or at least, judging from what you think the rest of the sentence was, you think he said something along the lines of, "What are you doing here?"
I will explain that we were exploring the area and came across this cave. Because tongues in his native tongue.
Right.
Yep.
So he looks at you kind of funny.
Well, actually, in tongue, because of tongues, he hears it as his native tongue.
Yeah.
Well,
But
but he still looks at you kind of funny.
Yeah, because I don't use the
it's
right.
like,
I don't use
how
the
did
right.
you guys
sentence
get
structure.
down here?
Yeah. You don't really get many people just wandering into deep water caves that are shielded by a staff of unmoving.
I will mention that because tongues, the rest of you also understand Ticker as if he was speaking your native tongues.
So Elvish for both of us, and
Well,
well,
Elvish
okay,
for
Elvish
Theron, Binary for Skirvo,
yeah,
and is there a Mousefolk language?
I think there is.
No.
Really.
All I know is Common, Goblin, and Thieves Camp.
Okay, so it would be common
Probably
for
Goblin.
Paimon then.
Yeah.
Common or
You're
Goblin.
speaking in actual code ciphers for Skirvo, and he's just like,
Tigger's just going beep 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 beep
yeah,
beep.
yeah. Skirvo's
Well, that's what
looking,
Skirvo hears.
yeah. Skirvo's looking at
Arms
him
are tingling.
like, oh, now he speaks something that makes sense.
Well, Skirvo did
Finally,
see him
someone who
drink
speaks
the
English.
potion.
Yeah.
I will explain how we found the entrance and found the path that led down from a cave above in the desert.
I see now what you are up to. I guess, perhaps, maybe. It's odd getting visitors down here, per se. Is there anything you guys want?
I'll ask him what he knows about the area.
Alright. Do you want to know secrets?
Yes.
Roll persuasion.
Can I have advantage because he hears it in his native tongue, and I imagine there are ridiculously few that speak that
Um,
outside of his species. Oh, come down! This guy came down here and is speaking to me in my native tongue.
we're going to say advantage, but -1 because you're kind of spooky. You are a giant talking insect.
Okay.
Last time they checked, they ate insects.
Well, I mean, to him, he probably looks more like a giant walking sea
That's
scorpion.
a 13.
With that 13, it's like,
Just asking
yeah.
for any secrets or rumors he knows about the surrounding area.
Well, suggesting that we only come up from underground once every, we're going to say, 50 years. Last time I remembered, there's still that funny castle thing in the mist. I don't like that gold dragon fellow. He comes down here sometimes.
There's a
And he gave
gold
us
dragon.
this.
There's a gold dragon that comes down here sometimes that he doesn't like. And there's a
Well,
castle in the mists.
Yes, there's a castle in the mist.
Wait, he
I
actually said.
believe those. I believe that Dulab fellow had something to do with it.
I'll ask
know.
who Dulab is.
Meanwhile,
The,
on
re-
our
the
side
rest
of
of
the
you are,
conversation-
are only understanding Ticker's side of the conversation.
Yeah, on
Yeah,
our
yeah.
side of the conversation, does Ticker say a gold dragon?
No, he does not. I
Okay,
was
yeah.
saying that out of character so that I knew what
Okay.
he was talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Never
Skirvo's
mind. I was gonna be like,
Skirvo's just
so,
like,
we're looking for a gold dragon, but I guess I'm not going to say that because I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Well, you heard it, you just didn't understand it.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. The point is that Skirvo's sitting here like, Skirvo's sitting here just like, Dulab.
Yeah, you know that fellow that owns that what's it? What do you call that thing? Like that city. What is it? That giant, pyramid structure. He's the owner of it.
Okay. And then I'm going to ask about the mists if he is referring to the mists to the, what is that, northeast?
West.
Northwest?
Northwest.
The strange
North.
claws
Assuming
to the
up on the map is
northwest?
north. Yeah, it should be north.
I
Assuming
believe it's
that way is north. If that way is north,
uh,
then that direction to the mist is northwest.
yeah, I believe it's northwest of here,
Alright.
quite a distance. I guess like don't wake it up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Don't wake what up?
Uh, don't wake up the castle. That happens like once some 2,000 years ago, and our kind didn't hear the end of it.
Thank you. This has been most helpful. I will I'll telepathically relay the information that I learned to everyone else.
Mm-hmm. We're looking for a gold dragon.
Does he seem like too annoyed by me, or?
Well, I mean, you seem to be asking him a lot of questions.
Well, like, does he seem like he's annoyed to answer them, or does he seem like he's just?
It's more like casual conversation.
Okay.
It's like, what is it? You're talking to a living fossil. The only things you care about are the things outside. So he is a little bit annoyed.
Well, yeah, I'm asking for information because he's a local, so I figure he might know. I don't really know what else to ask, so.
Knowles moved away yet. I don't like him.
I believe so. We haven't encountered any gnolls in this area.
Oh, good. I always steal our fruit.
I will not say anything in response to that.
Do you guys want to like come in or something?
We are. I'll accept the offer. Yeah, and I'll just kind of wave for everyone else to follow me.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys kind of come in like all single filed. Inside the bubble, there seems to be a series of taller bubbles that appear to be like houses. Some of them are just seemingly floating in the air for some reason, with this strange rock underneath each and every one of them.
Okay.
Other than that, there seems to be like other locals. Most of them are just going about their business until they like look your direction and are a bit confused by your appearance and your presence.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay.
How long does tongues last for?
An hour.
Okay, it's only been like
A
5
few
minutes.
Yeah, a few minutes.
All right. You guys want a tour of the place? Or something?
Sure.
If you would be so kind, that would be most enlightening.
I just
Um,
nod.
all right. Well, you see over there, he points to, or at least you assume it's a he, points towards a giant fishing hole, or at least like there's a giant hole in the bubble in which some of the fish from earlier just sometimes come up, take bait. That is where we get most of our protein from. Um, and that over there points towards some sort of futuristic looking device. This is a this is what we know as a refrigerator. Opens the door. It keeps cold air in. Basically, it's just showing you like technology that what you guys perceive as futuristic technology, but it's really just technology for modern day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the microwave of what?
This right here is a light bulb.
Like, I just want to point out, it's funny to me the idea that they're like this is this is future technology that you've never seen before. A refrigerator. They say that to the robot.
I'm
And
gonna be continuing to use my telepathy to keep everyone
yeah,
to keep everyone in the loop
Okay.
yeah.
as to what he's
Uh,
saying.
excellent.
And I'll be keeping a keen sense of how long I have left on tongues.
Yep.
All right. He goes on to say, it's basically, he just goes on like a freaking boredom, talks about like, there was that one time, like in the long past, forgot what you mortals, what you what you, I guess, apologize for my language, lesser races call. Um, when those nasty, like, people that called themselves gods just, like, came up and freaking tore freaking the entire planet in two. We almost all died from that. Well, you shouldn't trust those fellows. They're all, like, terrible people. Next thing you know, all of the primordials are dead, and there's not really anything we can do about it. Next thing you know, this Dewlob fellow is like, hey, you can just like chill out here for a while. And so we ended up doing that. But now we kind of don't ever progress anywhere. It's the only way to hide from those filthy god creatures. You can tell this person.
Like, it's kind of like trying to be an atheist in a world where there's undeniable evidence that
Well,
gods exist.
there are actually atheists in D&D. They're just people of the opinion that either they don't want to worship any gods or that none of the gods are worthy of worship.
Yeah. Yeah, but I also really just loved the description from the Discworld books, where the gods were petty enough that like on a weekend they'll go out and break the windows of atheists. Like the way they almost made it, the way the book has its wording almost makes it sound like they, or at least how I interpreted it, was that they have all this godly power, but no, they assume semi-mortal forms and throw rocks through their windows. At the I don't know if that's actually what they were trying to get at, but it's a funny idea to me. That is not even remotely the most ridiculous thing that's in those books.
But yes, so he just kind of like goes on this long diatribe about about why he and the Batraki in particular uh, don't like any of the gods.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah,
politely listen.
Yeah. The you mortals can keep your heathen gods. Haven't found. Again, tempting fate there, Skirvo.
Mhm.
He didn't come from a plane where they worshipped gods all that much.
But okay, so so he goes on talking for like 45 minutes about just arbitrary based things about like futuristic technology they have, about like the mythalar spheres that causes things to float. And it's like I hear that you lesser races haven't quite figured out how mythalar works. Wow,
What?
you
Really
absolute
figured out,
scrubs.
What is he referring to? Mythalar?
Mythalar.
Have I ever heard of Mythalar?
Um, Make a check, either Arcana or like history or
Arcana. Dirty 20.
dirty 20. Mythalar's the substance that causes things to float,
Oh, okay.
like castles
Nope.
and whatnot.
So it's like floatstones. Okay.
Yes.
Nope.
I'll just keep politely listening, and I'll telepathically tell anyone who like looks confused that I'll explain it later.
Yeah.
The rest of you just hear like a whole bunch of like frog sounds. Imagine like desert rain frogs, but really big, really deep.
Excellent.
About 10 minutes before the spell runs out, I'll thank him for his time and tell him. I'll just tell him. Well, thank you for the tour. It has been most enlightening.
I whisper to Ticker.
I'm afraid we must
Ask
be.
him about where the gold dragon is.
We must be going. We have other business to attend to. However, I did have one more question before we leave.
All right.
This gold dragon you mentioned that you do not like. Do you know anything in particular about him?
Yeah, it's like sometimes he goes around dressing like a human with his big goofy looking hat.
Hat?
He's got like this weird poncho on.
Okay.
Wait, isn't that's literally the dude we just ran into, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Would he?
All right.
Yeah, it's just like,
and then I will excuse us and start to leave.
Yeah. Well, I would ask if they know anything about that about the skeletal dragon.
Skeletal dragon. Ah, you mean the Dracolich.
That is the one.
Hold it.
Well, I didn't like it when he first came to Jazeera. He was this cocky little freak. It's like, oh yeah, look at all these necromancers. I'm gonna be the best of them. So then he just straight up becomes a witch. Kinda weird if you ask me.
Dragons usually have much more vanity than that.
Perhaps.
There. Yeah, because I'd like to point out, generally dragons have so much more have so much vanity that becoming something like a lich is like even considered like is not
Like becoming a
considered
lich
cool.
of basically Dracoliches are dragons who think they are so awesome that they should get to defy death. But literally
Yeah.
every other dragon hates them for it.
Yeah, but there are also other descriptions where sometimes a Dracolich is, not exactly 100% done consensually.
I think that's a shadow dragon that you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's a shadow
Maybe.
dragon.
Maybe.
Yeah, shadow
Maybe.
dragons are
They are
dragons that are
similar, shadow
corrupted
dragons and
by
Dracoliches,
yeah.
but
Yeah, shadow dragons are dragons that are corrupted by the Shadowfell,
yeah.
typically because the portal to the Shadowfell opened in their lair while they were sleeping for like a
Well,
century.
Well, either way, we now definitively know it is a Dracolich.
All right, so yeah, we can.
Yeah. Fortune. I think he's like just that green dragon's also an original. The other ones have died a couple of times, but so always seems to be another one that pops up.
Green.
That weird chant before they gave up.
We're also looking for a green gentleman and lady.
Yeah, I'll. How long do I have left on my spell? On my potion, I mean.
You have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Unfortunately.
I'll give Theron a look and and tell him telepathically. I only have 5 minutes until the potion runs out, and I can't talk to him anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should leave.
Do not leave on a rude note, Mr. Ticker.
Yeah, I will again thank him for his time and
Let's
for
proceed
the
with
tour and then
and
then politely
information.
leave.
Yeah. If
But you
there's
can speak telepathically, so couldn't telepathically use.
Yes, but I don't want to risk that offending him as well. So
Yeah. I mean, they also might be advanced enough where they're like, wait, you can do telepathic talk? Well, why didn't you say so? That would have been so freaking funny.
Yeah,
They're like betazoids. They're like betazoids. Talking telepathically is like the only way to do it.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get. Yeah, we're gonna leave. At least I'm gonna leave.
I will follow him out.
Follow him. Did our frog gentleman here have anything further to say as to our partings?
I guess I don't know, some things are better left unburied. I know those snake folk figured that out the hard way.
Okay.
We might have to come back and inquire about the snake folk, but considering that some fool is actually trying to unbury what's down there, and if they know what's buried in that tomb, that's worth asking about.
Yeah, but we don't have the time to ask about it right now.
Yeah.
All right.
I do have another potion, but I'd
as-
like to save it just in case we need it.
Yeah, no, exactly. If yeah.
And eventually, I'm pretty sure Tongues is on the Artificer list, so eventually I'll just be able to cast it.
Excellent.
All right. So you guys just make a hasty exit.
Yep.
I wouldn't say hasty,
Yeah,
but you know,
not really looking like we're trying to get out of there fast, but like just go into the exit,
like-
not.
Yeah. Walking.
How fast?
Yes.
Fairly.
You guys make it to the edge, and he kind of opens the door for you.
Yeah.
If I have any time left in my spell, I'll thank him again. If not, then I just won't say anything.
I hope we could continue this again another time.
Don't mention. Say, what are your guys' names?
What?
How rude of me. My name is.
What?
This is our captain Skirbo, and I'll introduce everyone.
Yeah. I'll tip my hat.
I'll introduce everyone in turn, and then
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
A shame.
I just when
It's
I
a sh-
mentioned.
It's a shame that you can't talk to Skirvo. He's very charismatic.
yeah. Well,
I'm Croak. Can you please put that immovable rod back where you found it? We don't want any unwanted visitors.
I will do so.
I'm assuming they want us to close off their little cave.
I'll nod.
Very well. Very well then. Do they want us to replace the water?
It's possible it will refill itself. I assume my spell would have ended by then.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Just
Oh well.
head on out.
Yeah. Just to be safe, we should have Skirvo be the one to put the rod back.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
I mean, I don't have to breathe either, but
Yeah, but it's far more hilarious for the robot to do it.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, head back up the stairs and out of the cave.
I'm quite amphibious myself. Really? Because you're bad at swimming. I know. I don't drown. That's the important thing. So yes, replace the
Replace
replace
the
the
rod where it
rod.
was.
Yep.
Push the button again to lock it in place.
Yep.
In doing so, the cavern, or at least
The spring fills up with water again.
yes.
Okay.
Does it again refill with cave fish and salamanders?
Yes, because water just seems to pour on top of you, um, and the holes that it came out from were like big enough to like put these things back.
This is
All right. What time is it?
So Skirvo's is going to just let any unfortunate creatures that fell onto him swim away, and then he'll leave the water.
What time of day is it right now?
It is around 2.
Okay. So
Yeah,
what do you
so,
guys think we should do next? Go back to the clearly a gold
presumably-
dragon's house. Go to start on our trip to the fog cloud.
We could go get to the gold dragon. Maybe if we could get the orb, we could put the orb safely on the ship in the cargo hold that's secured inside Skirbo's chest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least we should at least ask him about it
Mm-hmm.
while we're in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
as you land bearers say.
So yeah, let's head back to his house.
To our good friend's house, to Martin.
Mm-hmm.
You guys spend about an hour walking there, so it's like 3:30, and
Well, it's
Martin's just
it's not even a mile away.
Yeah, that's quarter mile. A
Well,
little bit
I'm
more than quarter mile.
calculating this with like time to put the water in a certain time.
Okay.
Oh, I think he was meaning like it took us an hour to get out of the cave.
Hour to get out of the cave and all the way back. Okay.
Yeah, that would make more sense because it did take. Because I think he said it took us almost an hour to get in the cave.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, yep. We're gonna head on back there.
Say hello
You
to
guys
Gold.
head back. You guys just find Martin.
And because it's a
porch.
desert in the middle of the day, Skirvo's already dry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello there, Mr. Martin.
Hello there. Why, hello there, Captain Skirbo.
Hell, we were still in the area and found some rather peculiar caves and happened to have a question for you while we were still here.
And what might that be?
But if you don't mind me asking, would you happen to be a gold dragon? He is
Well, my dear sir, I
What?
don't think I can tell a lie, so I believe that I am.
Sorry,
Being
it's the
so
whole "I believe
weird.
that I am." It's almost the implication that he doesn't know. He's like,
I believe I
I
am,
may
but
or
what's a dragon?
he's like, he's like, I just picture he's got like a reed in his, it, in his lips. He's just like, I may or may not be a dragon. Not really sure. I know what a dragon is, but there are many things about my own body I don't understand.
What in the goddamn?
but uh,
Uh,
but yeah. Well, that's certain. Well, that certainly explains what all the riddles were about. Most. It's not like it's not like most beings like to run around singing from the rooftops that they're a gold dragon.
I don't know. Dragons are vain creatures.
Yes, but
Believe
the
themselves superior.
yes, but the chromatic ones tend to be a bit more
The metallic ones.
humble. Yeah. What?
Compass.
Metallic ones is what you're
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah. Sorry.
No, he's saying
The
the chromatic
metallic
ones.
ones.
He's saying the chromatic ones are more
I
pompous.
always say the wrong thing. I
Well,
always
it
do
depends what
that.
adjective you use. Because the chromatic, you could be correct saying the chromatic ones if you use an adjective like pompous.
Well, he said humble.
Humble. I didn't hear
Yeah.
humble.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't hear humble.
exactly. I meant to say not
Metallics
chromatic,
are humble.
metallic. Yes, the metallic ones tend to be a bit more humble, or at the very least more subtle.
This is true.
Met a few in my day. One of them on not the best of circumstances. Rather not get into that one. And
Was it a bronze? Because you were a pirate after all. Well, you were a pirate.
no. It was on a beach. They were brass.
Oh, lovely. You get stuck chatting for a couple hours, did you? A couple days, I mean.
3 days and 3 nights.
That would do it.
The crew
There's like
was
completely zero surprise on his voice. Like,
yeah.
that
The
would do
crew
it.
was wanting to have shipped out by the first day. They were less than pleased.
Anyways,
Can you just imagine for a second the idea of like not only a brass dragon doing its signature, hey, we gotta talk about everything,
Mhm.
but like not only that, you now also have to tie into the equation that there are now pissed off sailors wanting to go,
Plus, also,
but they
Skirbo
can't go.
Skirbo
but they
telling all of his many tales to a brass dragon who's frantically writing them down.
Yeah.
Clearly, a
Meanwhile,
lot
all
of
the
famous authors are actually or not wild shape, poly-shaped, polymorph,
yeah.
brass dragons.
Yeah. Anyways,
Clearly.
moving on from this, yeah, Martin's much more quiet, so he
Mhm.
clearly had nothing more to say about the whole gold dragon thing, aside from
Well, I believe I am.
yeah. So I'm assuming we still haven't reached the till the time is right portion of our questionnaire.
Well, I was expecting that you were going to guess, but I think you did just that. Oh no, you got someone else to tell you. I feel like that's kind of cheap.
We well, we were pondering it, but then some amphibious lad mentioned in passing something about a gold dragon, something something poncho and hat, and I figured that might have been you.
Hmm. Well, I reckon that does make sense. I kind of like those guys. Not
They
sure they
seemed.
think the same thing about me, though.
I don't see why. You seem to be rather pleasant.
Oh, yeah, I
You know,
believe it
those fish
goes
people
back.
seem to have a superiority complex.
Well, he
Yeah,
I,
did.
what kind
What, sorry, what was Martin saying first?
I believe it goes back to this, the way how I got stuck here and what my whole purpose is here. Uh, uh, I feel like I should tell you about that.
Wait, he shouldn't tell us about the whole carcasses thing.
Whole carcasses thing.
What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was having trouble kind of understanding you over the chat for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. About the reasons, about the whole circumstance of me being here, but also there was that whole big, uh,
Okay. Um. All right. So that's what it was. Yeah, they mentioned in passing that they mentioned something about something about how the dragons seem to occasionally die, but then there's just a new one of the same type taking the previous one's place. I found that rather odd.
it's a bit strange. Well, you see, whenever a dragon or dragon type being ever gets into this whole gets into this whole plane, there's there's this enchantment placed on us that every single one of us must kill the newcomer unless that newcomer kills one of us and then replaces us at the time.
Eh,
I believe the last one to do so was that red dragon mistress.
Would you happen to know? So, would you happen to know what the door is actually guarding?
So I believe that is where my master Dulab lies, and some of his, I would just say, experiments and failures. I'm a bit different from the rest of the other dragons. I believe that maybe he needs to get a little bit of a fresh air. So let's just make this simple. He takes off his hat and produces an orb
Uh-huh.
of the
I
finest gold.
Yeah, and thanks to Skirvo's nat 20 from like 5 sessions ago, he can tell it's the exact same dimensions
Um,
as the others.
And based on what he said,
Yeah,
it's one of the
yeah,
dragon orbs we need.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Skirvo's going to step
Why don't you
forward,
put
being
that
the
in
one
your?
to.
Why don't you go put that in your cargo hold for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
safekeeping?
No, of course, exactly. Skirvo's going to step forward. Uh, graciously, if he is indeed offering it, graciously accept the orb from him.
he gives the orb to you.
Yes. Um. Yes. So you do believe it. So you believe it's at the very least wise at this time for the artifact to become unburied.
I believe so. I should just be careful and is behind that door, though. There are things that neither mortal nor immortal should ever see.
Okay. Yeah, Spencer, I would like you to write that down somewhere and post it to the Discord with a pinned message, because that is definitely something we're going to want to review later.
I would like to ask him, like, what he can tell us about Dulab.
Uh, what can I tell you? Give me a second. Um,
Oh, by the way, musical fanfare for getting our hands on orb number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Da, 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 da. I'm not going to sing the rest of that, or otherwise Nintendo's going to get in a tizzy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
it's okay if you're off key; they won't notice.
Yeah. Legally defensible, bitches.
It's an adaptation, not a copy.
Exactly.
So low key a roast.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and
Well,
I would like to point out, Dig Dug's probably looking at us much higher regards, considering that while we didn't get the orb we said we was gonna get, we did still get an orb much sooner than anticipated.
We should still go
Mhm.
after the blue orb while we're here.
Oh, exactly. While we're out here, we can't just immediately return. We just need to make sure this is safeguarded, which is why it's going in the ship. Nobody knows Skirvo has the ship.
Yeah.
Except the dragon and us.
Oh yeah.
But the dragon, I mean the emerald one.
was it? What is it you want to know?
Just who or what is he?
Was he, I guess. Or
Or
is
was he?
Well, some may call him. Some may call him the first necromancer, or many of which to be the oldest practitioner of such an art. Back when it was a more, well, less forbidden pursuit. He's interesting fellow, incredibly powerful. You could say he's the reason why the undead come back here. For what purpose, I have not been told. I've only talked to the guy a total of twice.
And he is trapped within the vault?
Trapped is a very is a very misconstrued notion, my dear friend. He is in
Self-imprisoned.
there. Well, no. He can get out whenever he wants. He just chooses not to for
Oh,
whatever purpose.
so it's more akin to self-isolation. Perhaps they did this as a sort of. Perhaps it's a means to see who would be worthy enough to collect all the items necessary to unlock the door. And only they may be privy to the knowledge he holds.
I believe that was the point of what he was trying to say. Otherwise, might have put up a fight for this hoe, but I ain't too concerned about it.
I find that subtly disturbing that a gold dragon, while not not that I know that that's probably not what he was saying, but that there was a possible implication that that a gold dragon has said Skirvo is worthy of learning the secret dark arts of necromancy is just delightful to me.
Yes, just peachy.
Yes, because clearly what Skirvo needs is an undead crew. He won't
Well,
have to.
this
He won't have to worry
I hate
about.
to tell you, Skirvo, but your ship just turned into the Black Pearl.
Yeah, it did. Somewhere between the Black Pearl and the Flying Dutchman, since all the members of the Dutchman were also technically dead.
Yeah, they're kind of like a weird pseudo undead.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the limbo. That's what they are. They're in limbo.
Yeah. In D&D, I'd run them as monstrosities. Well,
Yup.
the more transformed ones as monstrosities, the more humanoid ones as humans.
Yep. Anywho, any further questions to ask our dear friend Gold Dragon Martin?
No, I
Who
can't
I'm
think of any.
who I'm now going
Well, we could ask him what he knows about the other dragons and what's in the mist.
I wonder if he knows anything about
Well, yeah.
Beladros.
What was that?
I wonder what he knows about Beladros.
Yeah, it would be nice to know more about our esteemed employer.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him what he knows
Actually,
about.
yeah, let's
what he
go
kno-
ahead and ask any of the other questions that. Let's re-ask many of our previous questions because he didn't answer some of them under the pretense that we needed to learn something, and now he's pretty much an open book to us. It seems like so.
Yeah, but I want to ask him what he knows about Beladros first. I think.
Ah, yes, Belladros. I saw his arrival. He is not the first to come here seeking knowledge. That's, I know. What I've learned from my predecessor, as well as what I've seen, he is the he is the third one, I believe, to have come here. Or at least the third financer.
The third what?
Financer.
Can you say that
Financer.
without the accent so I can understand you?
The third financer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In other words, it seems like this company has basically been doing this for at
A
least
while.
3 people's worth. And we're the first headway that's been. So it's actually entirely likely now that we're hearing it that Beladros came onto this project for his own reasons, only to find that this project had been stalled for at least 50 years
Yeah.
because it hit the snag of being able to find the orbs. So yeah, we're part of a age-long conspiracy.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Great. Yeah, so we're going.
Lovely.
Might as well ask about
The other
about
dragons and the mists.
yeah about the other dragon, the other temple, the castle buried in the
Well, I was
fog.
saying dragons plural, as in what does he know about any of the other dragons?
Well,
By
I
the
don't know if
dragons, I mean any of them but the blue and the emerald, i.e., the black, the
Yeah.
red, the bronze, the silver, the amethyst, and the green.
Well, I feel like if we were to ask about the other dragons, it would ruin the ask him about the other dragons. It would potentially ruin the the worthiness of opening the door.
Could be.
There's that. Then there's also, remember this guy, he only visits them every so often, so he doesn't know technically what they're doing.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's probably safer to ask him only about the stuff in the area. We originally came asking around about the blue orb, so let's ask about that again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you willing to tell us more information about the blue orb now that the what is it fleshlings use? The cat's out of the bag? Is that right?
Something like that. But why would you put a cat in a bag?
And who put the cat in the bag originally? That sounds
Yeah, well,
cruel.
Gosh.
why would you put a cat in a bag?
You know,
Just-
I'm
It was they
It's
they
not
found the
that deep,
Schrodinger's
you
cat
guys.
nest
Jesus
because they didn't have a
Christ.
box, all they had was a bag.
yeah.
Shoot it and make a
just
coat out of
just
its pelt.
while you guys went on that tangent, Skirva just
Hmm.
goes, I'm glad to know I'm not crazy for wondering about that.
And Paymon's just like, it's not that fucking deep.
When I'm just
So
gonna
you're the one
I
who-
just googled it because I'm curious. When someone would purchase a pig, the vendor would sneak a cat into the bag instead, cheating the buyer out of the higher price of the pig. It wasn't until the buyer arrived home and literally let the cat out of the bag that they'd realized they'd been scammed. Hence the phrase's association with revealing a secret.
That makes a lot of sense. Weirdly. All right, thank you for that, John. But anyways, yes. What does our good friend Martin have to say in terms of our adventures regarding the mists and the Dracolich? Because these are now undeniably connected.
Yes. Dakota, he's kind of funny. You know, he's or at least from what I've heard, he's like one of two that hasn't been replaced yet, at least once in 10th year.
Well, if he was a lich, then wouldn't, in theory, any time he died, he would just come back?
Well, it also means any time that another blue dragon showed up, he was more powerful than that being.
Yeah,
That too.
he's likely too strong to be taken down easily. So the other... Now, I don't believe there's... Are they even... Now, first impressions were a bit off, but are they at the very least conversable?
Conversable.
But-
The Koldakar?
Do you think to... Yeah. Do you think it'd be possible to simply talk to them and ask questions without the risk of being annihilated?
Well, I see the local tribes people, them being them, who are those cat guys? The Tabaxi? Yeah, that's what their name is. Them Tabaxi fellows and them Goblin fellows that ride on those giant turtles. Horses. Horses. They seem to give the that Dracolich gifts of usually artifacts that are found in the city to him. In doing so, he usually calms down and doesn't burn down the entire civilization with unrelenting electricity.
Mm-hmm. I do have a question.
Conversable. Well, he converses with me sometimes.
I was going to
Usually,
ask.
I try to invite him to tea, but you know, with him being a lich and all, it's kind of hard. That's what we were doing. It's like last time, or at least the night before, you showed up.
I was going to ask. If he's a lich, what was he doing out in your backyard?
I think that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
He just said that he was...
Yeah.
That
I was going to ask, what was he doing back there?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah, because he was literally just back there saying, hi, what's up? What have you been up to in the last couple generations? Really? Cool. All right. I'm gonna go be terrifying somewhere else. Peace. So, yeah, we're I'm assuming getting... So I'm guessing it would be a fair assessment that we won't be able to enter the purple mist without the dragon, without what did he call? What did he say his name was?
Dakota
Without
Dakota.
without Dakota's approval.
Oh no, you can.
Really? Because it doesn't. Because from where I'm seeing it, it seems as though you would simply get lost in the fog if you attempted.
Now that's just local superstition. Really, it's what's inside that castle is what's more disturbing.
What's inside the castle?
Some of that old tech that Dewlab has just lying around. I believe it's Dewlab. Them froggy fellows, them froggy fellows down there, so that they didn't build it.
So, in other words, it is possible to get there thanks to this guy. It's just more akin of knowing where it is.
Yeah.
So out of game thinking, basically it sounds like what we need to just know its precise coordinates. So that way we can just find a point of reference and then just travel in a straight line from that point of reference towards the ruins, and then we'd be there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. It's a lot simpler than I thought it'd be. Which immediately makes me suspicious. I don't trust things being simple with Spencer.
It's
To
clearly
be fair, I
a
don't trust things when they're simple in general.
trap. It can't be that easy.
Yeah.
That would be
It's
too easy if it was that
yeah,
easy.
yeah. Yeah. It can't possibly be that easy, just cuts to gray. It in fact was.
In fact, was that easy.
It was precisely that easy. But huh, well, do we actually have a map of this area?
Yes, you guys are currently, or at least as far as map is going, this is Dick Dog's map,
All right. Very, very well
which
then.
he bought off of the Tabaxi traders.
That's right. Um. So, would you be so kind as to show us where in the fog it might be, at least as far as pointing it out on a map?
I've never actually been there myself, so I
And
can't really tell you, man.
oh, that's quite all right. It was foolish of me to think you knew everything. I couldn't. Well, God, that came off ruder than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was let's put it this way. It was rude of me to assume you knew it was I it was rude of me to just assume you what you did and did not know. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds nicer.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, it just basically going, "Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You didn't know, that's fine. You didn't have to know because it's really it's clearly none of your business. It's not your business, so therefore you don't know, and there's no problem with that. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. Would you happen to know someone that might? Well, I can already hazard a guess as to one. The palace is the reigning territory of. I already forgot the name.
Dakota card.
Yeah, of Dekoldakar, correct?
Yeah, I know him. There's also like for others that I think might know it. There's that. There's, I believe that there's this small dwarf fellow. That this other
Dwarf.
Don't you
porcelain-looking
fucking
dwarf
dare.
village. There's this human-looking druid, and then there's that kangaroo cleric. Yeah, they know where it is.
Hmm. I hate that dwarf.
They didn't seem. It didn't seem like they found the orb, however.
Good.
Perhaps they were, at least as far as you know, isn't that right, Mr. Dig Dug?
They had a bearing on the location there, my good sir.
Hmm. So they must have. So perhaps finding the castle itself wasn't the issue. It was something at the castle.
Perhaps. I mean, it is more than likely guarded by our Dracolich friend.
Precisely. Perhaps. Oh, good lord. Do any of us still happen to have any form of artifact from the city?
I think you gave them all to the Emerald to get the ship and the Emerald Orb.
I know I did that, but I was wondering if anyone
I
still
still have the gift
had stuff.
papers and the air filters and oxygen tanks that I grabbed. I still have the papers, so there's that.
Yeah.
Well, if that's...
Wait. Did we ever actually take the one poster that Maddie took from the first temple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I still have it.
Ooh, if you still have it, we could trade that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, jeez. Okay, if you want it, you can have it.
Yeah.
I have
that'll
no use for it.
yeah, no, that'll work. Good job hanging on to that.
You're just
Oh,
collecting
thank
things
you.
to collect them.
Yeah?
No, that was not a question. That was a statement.
That means we might actually have a bargaining chip with the with the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Very well then. As much as out of game, I feel like I've said this a lot in this campaign. As much as I really, really do not want to do this. Let's go talk to a dragon. Let's go talk to a Draco Lich. So yeah,
It's the Dracolich. It's the Lich part of the Dracolich that makes it such a
yep.
change.
Yeah. So oh no. I can't believe I'm gonna ask this. Would you happen to know any other usual dwellings that it's gone again? Gonna need to write it down. Dakoldakar.
Mm-hmm.
Unusual dwellings.
Dakar. All right. Would you happen to know any other usual usual sleeping grounds or I don't know if that's the right term. Any usual hangout spots for Dakoldakar?
He seems to fly at random. He goes to several locations across this plane. Because if he stays in the same place too long, any number of individuals will find out what it is and try to mess with them. And he doesn't like trespassing.
So you're saying it's more it would be a safer bet to wait for him to find us.
Perhaps.
So we wait outside on his doorstep.
I suppose so. I suppose so. Well, unless we have any further questions. Anybody?
No, not at the moment.
No.
I'm good.
All right. Very well then. Thank you so much for all the help you've given us, Martin. It has been such a pleasure to have met your acquaintance.
With pleasure, my dear. Well, about it, Frank.
We shall now. We should set. We should be off and see where. Now I suppose we must be off and see where the winds take us at this point. All right. Well, let us make. All right, everyone, let us make way for parts unknown. I propose we move north. You know, not this way.
Yeah, head due north, and
Yep.
and just
Yeah.
go along up here, and then along the edge
Yeah.
of this ridge, and then this, and then this. So what's that? 3 miles or so?
I calculated the math. The whole way there, it's just under 3 miles.
Yeah.
Alright. Sorry. When you get to around, you see what appears to be a giant turtle carrying what looks to be a house. You finally look at the top. It's I don't think Ticker told you, but there's a Thry-Creek village over here.
Yeah.
With a giant tortoise, a couple of them parked outside of it.
Horizon-back tortoises. That's what they're called. They're really cool. Or no, horizon-back steward, something like that. It's a giant turtle.
I wonder what's a village off that way.
It is primarily inhabited by Thry-Creek. I encountered it when I was searching for you.
Ah.
Oh, your brethren. Do you know any of them?
No, I was exiled from my village early in life and was nowhere near here.
Oh, well, that fucking sucks.
The Thry-Creek in this area generally seem hostile to non-Thry-Creek.
Most are. I'm different.
Well, then that makes, well then that made Mr. Well, then that made Mr. Hasselgraff much a very odd one indeed. To be fair, I should have already known that. He was a little too into drinking seawater.
Wouldn't that kill you? You'll shrivel up like a raisin.
That's what
What
every.
the fuck is wrong with him? What?
I'm just suddenly picturing an insect drinking from the ocean and shriveling up into a giant raisin. Thank you for that image, Maddie. But now I shrivel up wrinkly fly person.
Like Skirvo gives Paimon a body language expression, basically going like, exactly. He was nuts and everyone knew it.
Well, up like a raisin.
Amazingly, he didn't die from
Dehydration.
Yeah, incredibly he didn't die from dehydration. Bullet to the back of the head. Kind of rough seeing him go like that.
Closey.
You,
I was actually thinking of that scene, Maddie.
It's a little salty.
So enough about Skirvo's escapades 1,000 years ago. I suppose it's best we move on at the moment,
Yeah.
considering that there's very little likelihood that will turn into nothing but a big gunfight.
Yeah. Give it a bit of a berth. It's like go to
Yeah.
like here and go across. It's like
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just continue, make our heading.
And once we're around this ridge, head this way.
And you know what I just realized? Because nobody knows about my ship, the fact that it's just has been occasionally appearing out of nowhere in the desert at night. Oh, that can't be doing anything but giving people more ghost stories to tell. The more I think about it, the more I realize that Skirvo's actions are unintentionally creating ghost stories.
When you get to about here, the fog. The fog dissipates.
The fog disappears.
The fog disappears.
And
Second.
and we can see the. Now,
Well, actually, you hear. Okay, like when you get close, you hear several groanings of gears, and then suddenly,
that
Um,
was not me.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
Not in the slightest.
Yeah.
Find it. But, and the people you see in front of you, there, you see a familiar-looking dwarf.
I immediately knock an arrow into my bow.
You see that he's holding in his hands, the blue orb.
Ah,
On it.
well, at the very least, we still collected the other one.
Let's kill them all.
What is wrong with
He's
you?
probably a higher level than we can take right now.
And we're gonna call it for the night.
Okay.
All right.
You guys level up.
Oh,
Ooh.
awesome.
Fuckers.
I'm assuming it's kind of a because you've been saying it's been a milestone level up. I'm assuming like one of the milestones we have to reach is always get an orb.
All right, so end of the session there. We might be back next week. We might not.
You'll
Thank you.
just have to see where the cards lie.
Yep. Thank you for watching. Anyone that watched. You can find the stream archives on the YouTube channel. That's it for us this week. See you later.